Hello and welcome to another episode of the Plus 63 HP Podcast Review Edition. I am one of your hosts, John Clemente. Alongside with me are two of my bestest best friend. I'm going to start with the technically daddy himself, CHUBAX.
Hello, welcome. I'm CHUBAX. You can call me Daddy.
An option to call him is daddy or zaddy. We call him CHUBAX. Another one of our bestest best friends and one of our co-hosts is the handsome dude, Raymond, aka RJ.
Not too handsome, but thank you very much, John. And mabuhay from the Philippines.
Mabuhay.
Hello.
If this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. This is our stable of podcasts and shows where we talk about cool stuff that is happening all around the interwebs, the streaming services, theaters, video games, books, and everywhere that you can get cool content. You can watch us online and YouTube. Just search plus 63HP or type in youtube.com/plus 63HP. We are on socials as well. Please follow us, interact with us. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at plus 63HP. And if you don't want to see my face or CHUBAX's face, you can listen to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. Our favorites are Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon. Housekeeping done. This week, we have a double main topic, double treat for us. We are discussing the last batch of episodes of The Legend of Vox Machina. You can watch that on Amazon Prime Video. And we are also discussing the last episode, the season finale of Peacemaker season 1, that is on HBO Max. But if you want to join us next week, so we have you can interact and join our discussions about these cool shows. We have our newest show to review with you guys, which is Yellowjackets. You can watch that on Showtime, Hulu, or you can buy certain episodes on Amazon Prime Video as well. And our movie of the week next week is The Kingsman, that has recently dropped on Hulu as well. So
HBO.
tune in. Is it in HBO Max too? It's on Hulu.
Oh, Kingsman. HBO
Kingsman's
Max.
on Hulu. Oh, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
on in the United States, it's on Hulu. So yeah. Join our discussion. Make sure that you click the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop some comments and discuss with us and participate in this community of like-minded individuals enjoying cool content with their cool friends and family members. Done and done. All right. Before we start reviewing our episodes this week, I am cleaning up a little bit of our reviews rating rubric. That's alliteration. So we've always rocked a 1 to 10 scale in terms of rating the episodes and the series and the movies that we watch, but we just wanted to put a little bit more rigor in terms of what means what. So we are doing away with half points. No more half points. No more ranges. We want to be decisive in whether we want you guys to watch the movie or not, or what's the context on what to watch the content for. So 5 and above is good, right? We're not doing the school version of 75% is passing grade. No, 5 and above is good. If it's more, it's better than half of the other things that you watch. It's good. It's worth your time. But the levels of it are between 5 to 7 are various levels of good. And then that's personal taste. So Jay might have a different version of a 5 than me, than CHUBAX, and 6 or 7. But 5 to 7 is personal taste on what good means. When we hit 8, that means it's great. You should watch it. It's worth your time. All right. When we hit 9, it's an excellent show. Find time to watch it. All right. And when we hit 10, it is a masterpiece. It is a must watch for you and your friends and family. So that is the good ratings. On the bad ratings, so anything 4 and below, it's bad. It's not worth your time. So 2 to 4 is various levels of bad, horrible. Don't, or watch it ironically, or watch it if you don't like your friends and family. And then 1 is a unique level of bad. It's literally LOL bad. So some people actually start trying to watch bad, like super bad stuff. So that is where we rank our new reviews rating Rubric. Cool.
Cool.
So no half points. Okay.
Yeah. So
No half
basically,
points.
RJ good, CHUBAX bad, JONG 1.
That is exactly the exact
Right?
same basis that we want. I am 1. Showbox is 2 to
Barriers
7.
2 to 4, 2 to 4,
And RJ
5
is
to
8 to
10.
10.
Damn shit.
Exactly.
Damn
All right.
shit.
So hopefully you can rewatch the shows with us. How about you guys rank our shows? Which shows are 1?
I
Which
don't
ones
think we
are
want to
10?
open that. And let us
Let
watch.
us know. We want your criticism. We're good. We want your constructive criticism to have our content a little bit better moving future. Cool. Lots of talking on my end. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to talk a little bit more because this week our A block in terms of the first show that we're going to be discussing and reviewing is what CHUBAX suggested a couple of weeks ago. Right? It is a little combination of Lost,
Mm-hmm.
Alive, The Wilds.
What
Right?
Lord of the
It's like
Flies? Is it Lord of the
Lord of
Flies?
the Fries, Children of the Corn. It's a lot of inspirations across all those, but um, our new series that we will be discussing in the next couple of weeks, next 3 weeks exactly. So this week we'll discuss episodes 1 to 3 of Yellowjackets. Next week we'll do
Mhm.
4 to 7, and then 3 weeks from now we will do 8, 9, and 10 because there's 10 episodes of the first seasons of Yellowjackets. It is a show that you can watch on Showtime and Hulu currently in the United States. It tells the narrative of a team of high school girls soccer champions team who survive a plane crash in the deep woods of Ontario, Canada. So they were flying
Okay.
off to a national championship. They crashed in the woods of Ontario. So the series chronicles their descent from a complicated but thriving team to a warring cannibalistic clan, while also tracking
Ooh.
their lives as they attempted to piece back together as they reveal truth about their survival 25 years ago. So there's kind of like a bifurcated timeline here where part of the show occurs and is played by the teen version of the main actors and actresses, and part of the show is flash forward 20 25 years after, played by the adult version of said characters. So I'm gonna run through quickly the characters, super fast. Ella Purnell is Jackie. She is the captain of the women's soccer team. Sophie Nélisse plays Shauna, the teen version of Shauna, and Melanie Linsky is the adult version of Shauna. So Sophie Nélisse doesn't have a lot of credits to her name, but Melanie Linsky is in Heavenly Creatures, and she is the wife of Leonardo DiCaprio and Don't Look Up. Right?
Okay. I got
Uh,
it.
yeah, Taisa, played by Jasmine Savoy Brown as a teen, and Tawny Cypress as an adult. So Jasmine Savoy Brown is in the new movie Scream, and then Tawny Cypress is mainly she was one of the main kind of baddies in the Blacklist Redemption. We have Natalie, who is played by Sophie Thatcher. She is in the Book of Boba Fett. She is one of the Power Rangers there. She
So
plays the
pretty.
teen version, and the adult version is played by Juliette Lewis. Everybody knows Juliette Lewis. She rose to fame from Cape Fear. She is also in
Mhm.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Cape Fear. Cape Fear.
And there's a lot more characters, but the last main one is Misty, played by Sammy Hannerty as a teen. She is in Salem, also a Hulu series, but she's also kind of a main in Two Broke Girls. The adult version of
Oh.
Misty is played by Christina Ricci, of course. Adam's Family fame, Casper. Right. So those are the main characters. A couple of lines the first 3 episodes before we start discussing how we like it. So episode 1 is entitled Pilot. So on the eve of that fateful flight, the championship high school girls soccer team celebrates, celebrates by betraying one another. There's a lot of like subplots in terms of how friends are treating other friends. But also this is where we kind of see that 25
Not
years
us.
later, the adult versions of themselves have their own issues that they have been struggling to adjust to. So we can obviously see the opening scene is a young lady falling into a trap and then being eaten. So right from the get-go, we kind of see that, or it's being alluded to that the survivors of the plane crash did some form of survival of the fittest, and the people that are killed are then eaten so that they can survive their time in the wilderness themselves. And this is where we kind of see a little bit that there's a certain force that is drawing all of these survivors together back again. Episode 2 is entitled F Sharp. Misty, played by old Christina Ricci, but young Sammy Hanratty, kind of is like the main in this episode. We show that she is thriving in the survival in the wilderness. She chops, we see how people survive the crash. She saved a lot of lives, even amputated the leg of their coach to save him. She's kind of like the MVP of this new world that they're doing. And in the present, we kind of see more cracks of the other main characters. So there is a little bit of cheating involved with Shauna's family. They're doing couples therapy. They're wanted to have fun in the bedroom and they can't. And then we are also introduced by a policeman. We're introduced to a policeman that was formerly a goth friend by Natalie that kind of provided them with information with other survivors. So this episode, we see one of the main characters, Shauna, catch a rabbit, skin the rabbit, cook the rabbit, showing his skills.
Skillfully, if I may add.
Very skillfully.
Very
This is something that it seems that
You learn.
she brought back with her from her survival time in the wilderness. She finds out that her husband is cheating, but she also cheats herself. There is kind of like a weird character, Adam, that she rear-ended that kind of becomes her semi-romantic interests. But I think something is fishy with Adam as well. And we're in this episode, we also see that one of the other main characters, Thaisa, who's running for Senate, her son has something going on. Like he is drawing weird stuff. He is punching other kids. He is lashing out, acting out. We kind of also see a little bit more of a background that Thaisa, as a kid, had some semi-supernatural stuff happening with her and her family, her particularly during the scenes with her dying grandma. Last episode is the dollhouse. So the dollhouse on the teen versions, they were debating whether they were going to stay during the crash site because the crash site may have a tracking device that would have them rescued, but they were running out of water. So the other debate is they probably need to look for food or shelter, which somebody found a lake and consequently a lake house. And then on the adult side, Thaisa was running for Senate, is navigating her life because of a dirty attack ad by one of his competitors. This is also the episode where we find out that Thaisa was the one who hired this a person portraying to be a reporter or a writer, but actually is like a private investigator type. She was hired by Thaisa to test the other survivors, whether they're going to talk or not. So it seems that nobody's talking about their time during the rescue and their survival. So there might be a lot of shit going down on there. That's why they didn't want to talk about, apart from the cannibalism that was presumed to be shown. This is where Shauna meets Adam, the person that she rear ends at the hotel, where she found out that her husband is cheating at. And then this is also an episode where we see one of the former survivors, Travis, son of the coach. We see Travis hanged though. So Misty and Natalie were looking for Travis to talk to Travis, presumably about these postcards that they've been getting about what had happened during the time. But by the time that they saw Travis, he was already hanged. The only other note that I have here is Misty has a bird named Caligula. And Caligula is known for being a cruel leader. So he was the leader that kind of restored putting people to the death. So there was a time in ancient Roman civilization that's no longer inhumane, but he was the one who brought it back. So, right, 3 episodes, 7 sentences. Let's go around the table. CHUBAX, this is the series that you suggested. Instant reactions on the first 3 episodes and what you think so far.
Just hold on before that. Is Jong sounding okay to you, RJ? Kind of fluctuating
Yes,
a
he
little
is.
bit. He is?
No, he's quite clear on my side.
Okay.
Very
No,
clear, bro.
he's clear on me also, but sometimes there's a pitch. Anyway, it's
I should be not.
Oh,
No,
you
I
mean
don't-
like hitting puberty?
no, I don't think it's weird. I think it could be the internet, but you're fine, Jongs. That's anyway, it's still very
No, Jonk's actually fine. I mean, it was
I'm very
very,
fine.
very good introduction by the way, Jonk.
Yeah, because
I'm very fine. Look at me.
my net's good as well.
There you go.
Anyway, it's still very understandable. Anyways, it's not like bad in and out. So back to Yellowjackets. Oh, I'm liking the show. The first episode was a little confusing just because it was trying to figure out who's who. You know, it wasn't.
Mhm.
They didn't really
Agree.
clear who was who in the first episode. But by the time the second episode came in, they did that recap where they did side by side, so it was more understandable who's who. But yeah, I'm getting like lots of Lost vibes, some supernatural stuff going on, but we don't know if it is supernatural or not. But creepy nonetheless. So but like you said, it's like a state champion, but they're so fractured. I don't know how
Mhm.
how they started, but they already started fractured as a team. And
That's true. I guess being teenagers could be.
100%.
that's true, but
Mm.
yeah, Jackie's really pretty. Ella Purnell from Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead.
Yes.
and
Jackie
Natalie.
is, That's right.
But so
Sophie Thatcher. Hot.
yeah. So yeah, I love all 3 episodes. It's each episode gets deeper and deeper. I like the dynamic. I like even Misty. I don't know. No, I don't really know how to place her. Like she's very smart, very helpful,
Mm.
but then she's also very needy and she's manipulative with the tracker and stuff. I don't know how that will work though. When she destroyed the black box thingy, the signal from the plane.
Why didn't nobody hear
No, not
her
not only,
smashing?
No, it's not just that, but
not only that. If
you
somebody
should still have like the last signal.
if somebody's
should still
tracking
have
that,
that, yeah.
it's still there. It's not like
Yeah.
we don't know where it went. It was there when it broke.
It's still there.
So
Yeah. Well,
that's
I
a
mean,
reject-
Should have asked.
did-
We should have
they
asked
still
our
got-
resident pilot.
yeah, but also they still got rescued in the end. So
but 19 months in Canada? Come on.
wait, was it 19 months or
Oh.
19 weeks?
I
Months.
think it was months.
Months?
I think it was
How
months.
did
Yeah.
they
I think I
survive
heard
fucking
months.
19 months?
Well, that's why they're all
Dude,
fucked up
because
now.
19 weeks, you're not gonna eat one another. I mean, months, yes, probably. But I'm like,
But
if
I
they
mean-
had just started anyway.
Oh shit, they were stranded for 19 months.
Yeah.
Months,
So
dude.
that's almost
crazy.
So
2 years.
100% they're gonna be fucking cannibals.
Yeah.
100%.
But I mean, it's obvious. Well, not obvious, but from the first 3 episodes, they're pointing to Jackie being the one that's killed, right? Am I the only one
So-
that got that vibe?
I was talking to Jay in pre-show, and that was my problem because when I was listing down the main characters, we have Jackie, Shauna, Tysa, Natalie, and Misty. Those are the main
Mhm.
characters of the show. And Shauna, Tysa, Natalie, and Misty all had adult versions, and Jackie didn't. So I'm still again I'm trying to be
No,
be
but
good
I
here for
think I think that was the point. It's not like they were hiding it. I think that's what we're supposed to assume. Then maybe they'll flip it in the end We don't know.
And she was the one that is, hunting the people down 25 years later. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe.
One of the, but yeah, I like how they're coming together. So basically, there's like three timelines, right? The past, the present, and then like the end of the tail end of the past, where they're all like hooded up and stuff.
Mhm, that's right.
So I know it's cool. It's cool. I like the all women. Well, not all women, but the main all women cast are great. Both the young and the old, and the dynamic of I read an interview where they said like what happened to Jackie was from being in the normal civilization, she's the leader, and then when they flipped it into the survival area, she's lost because she was basing everything on the social structure, which is
Mhm.
now everything's different. What's more important now is who
Survival.
knows survival, who knows this, who knows that. And also she lost her credibility when she left one of the girls to die in the fire.
What was the name
But
of that one?
But I think Van or something.
Bam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't the main, but she almost got burned.
But then she survived. So my only nitpick for now is like the only likable person is Jackie, and she also made the mistake with
Oh,
with
Jackie?
the for me, she's the only one that's
Oh,
nice.
I always thought Jackie was a bitch. I think right now, yeah,
Why?
I
What
think
did she
for me,
do? She was always the
I just
nice
don't, I
one.
don't like her. I don't like the what do you call it, the cheerleader top vibes person. It's like maybe that's personal preference. I don't.
Yeah, but she's always been, for the team and
But you
for
won't turn down a cheerleader if she applied to you, right?
100%. Are you fucking kidding me? Any one of these.
she's the only one that's always been looking out for everybody, especially for Shauna. And Shauna's just a bitch. From every so far, like betraying Jackie.
Actually, yeah.
And I was texting with RJ about this. Did you get what vibe did you get from Shauna and her looks to Jackie? Was it like guilt
Some
that she
LGBTQ.
I know,
don't
that's
It's
what I
know.
was
guilt and
At first.
jealousy. Yeah.
like she
It's
likes
like
her,
kind of
right?
like single white
she's
female. Well, I think it's a single
Single
white
white
female
female.
vibes
Yeah.
that she wants to be Jackie. That's why she fucked the boyfriend. That's why she is, voting against her. Like subconsciously, she's trying to
Mhm.
undermine her.
put Jackie down.
I don't know. I'm still getting
can be better.
some attraction there. But yeah, that's for me for now. It's really good, something to watch, and I can't wait for the mysteries to play out. I hope there's some supernatural elements in it. Really,
There seems
Uh,
to be actually. So
That's
and
my
the
I
symbol
have
too.
thoughts there too. Yeah. But Jay, how about you? What do you think about the first three episodes? You watched more, right?
I actually ended up watching the fourth because I like the show. But not that I'm gonna stick to the first three. I'm forgetting the fourth until next week. I was actually confused with the first timeline with the first episode's timeline. So I was not really sure, mainly because I couldn't connect Sophie Thatcher, Nat being a teenager, to Nat being the adult. Nothing against the actress, but and I think I shared this
I
with
think
John
it's everything
pre-show as
against
well.
the actress. Everything against
No,
Juliet.
nothing against her. It's just that the way they selected her,
Yeah.
the
I
way they
mean, it's
selected
super
her. Because
confusing.
if you look at Shauna when she was younger and when she was older, you can still kind of
Yeah.
see the resemblance. Same with Taisha.
Misty.
Same with Misty especially. Well, Misty's quite easy as Jong mentioned. It's the hair, the glasses, and you got Misty, right? But Nat, very way off from her.
You were right. It's the
goth.
drugs and the addiction.
Yeah,
The
I was
rehab.
messaging CHUBAX. So I was saying it's probably the drugs because she was really hooked on it. When if you're addicted to drugs, you seem to age differently. So maybe that's the case. But hot teenager, not so hot adult. I mean, I'm sure she was in her prime, but that confused me. But by episode 2 onwards, it was much clearer. I love the fact that by episode 3, I still have no idea what to expect. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, cannibalism and all that, but I have no idea whether it's Is there another group? Is there a supernatural thing? Is there, I don't know. And that's what that's what I did. That's why I cheated and added another episode. I still didn't get anything. So there was this little bit of supernatural vibe onto it with Ty when she was a young girl and her grandma.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot
the one
about
with
that.
her
Yeah.
grandma
The
passing away.
visions.
The grandma seeing the man with no eyes on the reflection.
And the girls,
I was like,
I think Taisa also saw it. But we don't know if it's just
yes,
her
she saw it as
imagination.
well. Because no, well, could be, but they wouldn't put that scene there
Image.
if it meant nothing. And now her son is also
Mhm.
seeing a girl looking or peering through the
Mhm.
window, so he had to put
Girl in the
creepy
tree.
drawings on the window, right? So that's kind of, maybe there's something there, or maybe that girl who's peering at the tree could be someone
Jackie.
who we thought actually didn't survive. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking maybe that could be it. Um, just a side note, since I worked for hotels, good job on the receptionist who didn't give out
Not
the room
giving.
number, because no matter what, even if you say you're the wife or the husband, and I swear, I've worked for hotels for 14 years, and yes, that has happened. You've got people's wives or husbands looking for their spouses, claiming, oh, he just didn't text me the number. You should come on, connect me, or you should let me in. Absolutely not. The smart clients, though, just to share with you, they have code names. So if a guest comes up and looks for Batman, give me this room number. Give them this room number. I was like, are you sure? I mean, that's not
That hard. That hard.
I've
I
had
am Batman.
I've had someone who does that, and it's a different hero every week, and it's a different guest he expects every week. But anyway,
Experience.
that exciting. Working hotels are fun. Anyway, um, I am intrigued. I can't wait to watch the next 4 episodes. I'll rewatch episode 4 just to get a fresh hit. But I like it, and I'm really looking forward for a bigger reveal. Since this is only a 10 episode
Season.
series,
Yeah.
season rather,
And I
season.
think they said it's set for 5 seasons, I think. Like they
Yes,
have
They
I
they're
read
renewed
somewhere.
for season 2, so that's for sure. But
Mhm.
I hope they keep it shorter though. 5 season, I think for this is a little
a
too
little long.
long
Yeah,
for me.
I don't know how much you can.
But let's
stretch
see.
it.
I mean, as long for me, what's good is it's planned. So the
Yeah.
beats are down. I don't think
Okay.
Lost was
That's right.
planned, so that's why some of the beats got lost. But this one,
Mhm.
Oh
they've
yeah,
set it up. So
but
That's
Lost was quite long.
yeah, that's
Lost
it's
why.
an
was like how
hour
many?
per episode. That's
Yeah.
it. This is not like a 42, 44. No, it's 57 to 59 minutes per episode. So this is
Hmm.
almost 10 hours, like 9.5 hours the entire season. So this is a huge chunk. So that's a testament to the show that, when CHUBAX suggested this, there's a lot of comps. Again, Lost, we talked about Wilds, we talked about Alive, we talked about some,
Yeah.
Lords
catty
of
nature of
Lies.
high school politics and whatnot. So there's a lot of things that I felt like, oh, I might not be 100% into this, but like what everybody's mentioned, the way that this is done is it's not extremely unique, but it's unique enough to draw your interests. The casting was great. All of the actors were solid actors, both teens and adults. And then I do like the idea that they subvert your expectations, not super duper, but they get to the accident right away. They show the accident right away. They show some cannibalism right away. They show the mark, which I still don't know in episode 3, this little symbol that was in the woods that they saw. So again, like it might be previous people that was there already. It might
It's also in the cabin. Inside the
it's in the
cabin,
cabin, it's in the postcards that they get, so that'll be probably play a bigger part in the episodes that's coming next. And to those who've seen the series already, because this came out in November, now you can like find a rewatch and experience the show again with us, like fresh eyes. Like it's great. Like I super kind of enjoy the pace in what they're doing, the split between timelines. The only thing that kind of like is drawing me back, drawing me back or holding me back to giving this the highest of high marks is having split timelines always shows you what's going to happen, right?
Mm,
Right? Misty will
fair
survive,
enough.
right? And then it's
I
sad
don't
because
mind.
like yeah, exactly. So Misty in the Ontario woods, fucking amazing. She was great, but
Psycho.
Well, the
what
black box
happened?
destruction was fucked up.
Yeah, that was
Super
psycho.
fucked up. But the idea is she was not able to translate her being an MVP in the entire woods to when they come back. Because when we see her come back, struggling to get a date, struggling to have friends, having to destroy your
The
friends' cars
Porsche.
just to hang out with them, right? So
Shit.
you kind of, so those are kind of the idea of like the actual bookends and we're just seeing something in between. Something in between, there might be a lot of changes, but in the end she'll revert back to this semi non-popular, semi weird kind of person that you're looking at. So that's the only thing that I don't like about these series. But the compliment that I can give is the series is good enough that even me, who kind of anticipates too many things already, is still engaged because like, oh, I want to see how they turn into Lord of the Flies. I want to see like what is the
How they go
process.
from classmates to that.
Yeah, like how like 19 months. To be honest, I really thought it was 19 weeks, but 19 months, like, all right, but what can't you forage and scavenge and hunt for 19 months? It seemed they had a lake. It seemed that they'd have a lot of fish. Right. So I was kind of thinking that what there must be an external factor why they went to that extreme, and I'm very excited to see it. But that is our
True.
initial discussion of the first 3 episodes of the season 1 of Yellowjackets. Let's go to our sheet and let's do our ratings for the first 3 episodes. I'll start. I give it an 8. It is excellent. It draw my attention. It makes me want to watch it more. Like RJ, if I had more time, I would have watched episode 4, but I wanted to make more detailed notes. So I won't be catching up towards the end. So I just made sure that I watched 3 episodes. Jay?
Same with you, buddy. I'm going to give an 8. The 8 is because it is excellent, and I already watched episode 4. So we normally have limited time to watch these amazing shows week on week, but this show made me want to have that extra episode on, because I really just found it interesting. How about you, Chewy?
Funnily enough, 8 as well. But I like the first episode was a 7 for me, just because it was confusing.
Yeah.
Not confusing
But
in the
overall,
sense that
3
the
episodes.
story, it's more like who's who. But then the next one was like a 9 and then an 8. So it's average around 8. So yeah, it hooked me. So I'm excited to go on. I can't wait.
It's a great show. So far so good. First 3 episodes, it's great. An average on all of us. And then we'll continue in discussing episodes 4 to 7 next week, and episodes 8 to 10 the week after. Now we go to our main topic, and I'm very happy to turn over the stage to. Okay, dealer's pick. Do we want to do Peacemaker first or Legend of Vox Machina?
I think I'd like to save the best for last. And in that, for me, the best would be Vox.
Okay. So then,
How about
Jay?
you, Chewy?
Yeah, I like both of them. So it's either or for
I
me.
know. Okay. So I'll
Jong,
start with
I guess Jong wins the tiebreaker.
Peacemaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there's more episodes for Vox Machina, so just so that we can discuss it more.
Okay.
We'll do Peacemaker. 'cause
Are we
that's
doing the awards for Vox Machina as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick.
Yeah, 'cause
We will
it's,
do quick awards for the
season end. So
Okay.
yeah. Same with Peacemaker,
Peacemaker.
I guess.
So Jay, run us down what happened in episode 8, season 1 of Peacemaker.
Episode 8, Season 1, which is the last episode for this first season. It's entitled It's Cow or Never.
Cow.
Okay, and the puns that they have, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's run it down. With everything on the line, Peacemaker and his team hunted by the authorities, the world being in danger from being dominated by alien butterflies. And the only way out is to eliminate the cow. This cow, which we saw a preview of on the tail end of episode 7, doesn't really look like a cow, but it's used as a cow to get
Very
the
cute.
nourishment to feed butterflies.
Cow.
Yeah, it's actually very cute. It had one tooth at the bottom. Later on described as a giant caterpillar. But anyway, this cow is being prepared for teleportation. So they're really racing against time. They have to hide from everyone just so that they could solve everything, basically, save the world. So Peacemaker and Vidge teasing Adebayo at the start of this episode while she tries to apologize for,
Vidge.
just being a traitor. And Peacemaker and Vidge non-stop parting sounds or blowing raspberries for some people saying it. Now, upon reaching the farm, they plan to plant the sonic boom helmet on the top of the barn to cause it to cave in. For some reason, Peacemaker gives this impossible job to Eagly, explains, Eagly, I want you to take this helmet and place it on top of the barn. Helmet, barn. I mean, Hardcore was like,
idea.
It actually
"Are you
started-
kidding? You can't. An eagle can't understand you.
No, but the plan was nice. It was smart actually using the helmet, but then it went to the eagle bringing it.
I
in.
know.
and Hardcore was like, he can't understand you. No, he can. To a certain point, Eagly,
He
fair
did.
enough. I love Eagly. Grabs the helmet, starts flying, and they're like, whoa, maybe he did understand. And then takes a detour to the right and drops the helmet. You're like, no, Homer Simpson style. So they
Fan
have
out.
to start. Fan out, start searching, funny conversations in between, and then focuses back on Peacemaker. Peacemaker eventually sees a vision of his dad. So there's really something wrong in his head. Having a conversation with him, killing him in his mind again using his poison dart, which eventually has a clunk sound to reveal the helmet later on. So, okay, fine, helmet's there. Now, how do we now bring it? Obviously not Eagly. So they have Economos. So they basically took one of the guards, stole his uniform, puts it to, lets Economos wear it, asking him to bring a bag, plant it as deep as possible within the bag.
I do want to pause there because this is one of the times that this is a James Gunn show where it seems a lot of improv, but it's not necessarily super improv. Let me just say that this is the very, very, very first time that explaining what happens to a death actually makes sense. It adds to the story and it's funny. Like, why is it wet? I had to wash it because people don't realize when you kill people, they shit themselves.
It's diarrhea.
I
What?
was like,
This is diarrhea?
is this
No.
the diarrhea pants? It's like, no.
But was it diarrhea? Yes.
That got me where it's like, shit, we didn't need that. But
No, we didn't. But that was awesome.
it was awesome.
That was a good point. Yeah, I missed the right on that. But so he wears it, heads on to the barn, tries to plant. He gets stopped by what's the name of that character, the cop, who also plays cops in most shows.
I call him a Stifler.
Stifler,
No, not
yeah.
Stifler. Cliff O'Malley
Cliff
from one of the
O'Malley.
very, very old
Cliff O'Malley.
college movies that we watch.
Can. So he gets stopped by Cliff O'Malley. So where are you going? To bring the bag. Why? Oh, sorry. Where are you going?
Where?
To the barn. Why? What are you gonna do there? bag. Okay. Wow, that was pretty weak security. The heck? And then he tries to drop it as close as he can, but he had to stop. I mean, you've got this guy not trained for combat going into the heart of the base of an enemy, seeing a massive kaiju size of a caterpillar. He loses it. He loses it. So he's not trained for that shit. So drops the bag, rushes back out, again gets stopped. Well, not really stopped for being suspected, but stopped because, tell me, why did the human that you took over have a weird color in his beard? And with his entire team listening in, he admits that he dyes his beard because he thought it would make him look young or cool.
And cool, but he's also lazy and he uses
And
the cheap
cheap.
stuff. So like that was hard.
It was amazing.
I
I love that
know.
part.
And the thing is, he thought that no one noticed.
Until somebody did.
He thought that no one noticed until weeks ago, which was basically
Somebody always.
Peacemaker. Right?
Somebody
that was
pointed
pretty
it out.
good. I know.
In such depth for
And-
that character.
Mhm.
That's right.
I love it.
Actually, very underappreciated.
That's
but
why when
it's
it
very
comes
cool.
to the next scene, I really thought he was dead
Yeah, I was worried about that too, because
when they swarmed him.
when they swarmed over him, because they found that there was this bag, and then this guard comes out and says, "Hey, he
Hey,
dropped
put
this,"
this
and then it shows the helmet. Yeah. So everyone started swarming and trying to attack Economos.
Activate Sonic Boom.
Before that, she dropped it.
Yes. Oh yeah, Atabio.
Son of a bitch.
Before she could actually activate it, she dropped it not just on the ground, in a pile of leaves, and she couldn't find that.
My hands are sweaty.
Where else was it gonna go?
So they had to search for it and then eventually activate it, which caused the barn to collapse, at least the first floor of the barn to collapse. So the swarm stopped attacking Economos, giving him time to creep back into base, well, into their hideout spot. They went straight to see the butterflies went straight to the barn to see the damage, and they activated again and again, and a total of 4 times,
I love
causing
that. That was
massive
amazing.
damage, not only to the structure, but also to the teleportation device. Well, they didn't know that, but that's what basically happened. And as Economos approaches the team, fine, I admit it, I dye my beard, and I should have used L'Oreal, even though if it's just a few more dollars. You know, it's really I guess humbling for him to do that. Pretty good scene with him. So with that, you have the top 3 killers in the team play with the music of their intro song playing in the background. Peacemaker, awesome 10 minutes, having his shield out.
But before that,
Suddenly
my favorite line was Adebayo, you're the last hope. What the fuck am I? What the fuck am I?
And so also when what was this when Economos hopped over, so Adebayo wore the
Helmet. Human
torpedo helmet, and
Yes.
then Economos wanted to follow and help out. He tripped over a barricade and
skins
breaks
his
his leg.
Not just
Yeah,
breaks,
breaks
it's
the-
an
I'm
open
skins?
open
He-
fracture.
Yeah,
It's
his
called an
bone-
open fracture
his
when the
bone is
bone
out.
comes out
Bone-
of the skin.
Mm.
Which I love because it can happen. It's so weird, but it can happen.
Damn it.
I understand they didn't to give Adebayo space to do it herself, because you need not, so if Economos didn't do anything and she was just like chilling there, it's not going to be good for the character. So
True.
they needed something to keep him
Delayed.
there
to
for a
delay
little
him.
bit until he gets there to the end. But it was like a fucking the bone coming out of your skin. All right. Hardcore.
No, but Adebayo
Did
showed
some
her
John Wick
skills,
shit.
man. Yeah,
Yeah.
John Wick shit. Seriously, she had double wielding handguns. Bam, 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 bam. Really, you're not trained? No, but I like that. She said, "Why? Why are you going out there when you know it's dangerous?" Economos asks her, "Because I'm built for this shit."
I'm built for this.
Pretty awesome. Awesome scene for her actually. And then Economos still followed. If you guys remember, he was just crawling.
Crawling.
Sadly, of course, Hardcore gets shot. So does Vigilante. Atebayo just barely saving Hardcore from being infected by a butterfly, which was a very good save. Receives the helmet, rushes in to look for Peacemaker, but sadly enough, Peacemaker actually was affected by the poor flooring after all those sonic booms. Slides into this tunnel and gets covered with debris. So as he tries to break out, I mean, Adebayo tries to search for him. He tries to break out. I like the scene here where I thought it was Adebayo who's actually going to save him from that debris. And later, actually was Detective Song,
Detective Song.
which is she's actually hot. I like her.
I told you. I
She's
told
very
you.
pretty.
Yes.
Yeah, it grew on me at episode 8 when she approached Peacemaker. You know, I'm not here to fight you with that sincere look and explaining. Our origin. We came here because our planet was
Destroyed
was
itself.
destroyed. It's our people that caused it, and we moved here because Earth had the resources, the air, the water that we need, but it didn't have the food, which is why we brought this cow. So she explained everything, and begging, in a way, almost pleading Peacemaker to help them, because if not, our world is really headed on the same path, and they
And
didn't want that.
Yeah, Goff was sure that Peacemaker would understand. That's like when I told you the master and he helped us out. I know
Judo
that
master.
you would understand what we're trying to do and you'd help us
Correct.
out too.
And I think that he does, and he really does actually. But
Mhm.
instead of helping them, he just
Shoots
said,
Goff in the chest.
No, but the thing is with that, I think if he got to Peacemaker before this series started, he would have helped them. But due to the growth that he had
Mhm.
during
Oh, yeah.
these episodes, he was in a different spot.
with the 11th Street kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
And
he changed
and
actually.
he mentioned it at the end. It's like Adebayo was asking Peacemaker, "Why didn't you help Goff?" It's like if I helped him, they would have killed you guys. So he was just doing it for friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Friendship.
Mm.
He wasn't thinking that deep. It was just because of the.
Mhm. He just
No,
didn't want
it was
fist
really
fights to
the
get hard.
bonds that he created. But I agree with CHUBAX. If they had approached him before this entire group was formed, he would agree with that. The entire season 1 shows the transformation of Peacemaker.
And I can't wait.
I like
Season
how.
2, baby.
Oh yeah, but I have to say, I love how the cow was killed.
Oh, this one.
Activate
Activate
human torpedo.
Yeah, buddy. Woo-hoo-hoo.
That was
Sending
awesome.
Adebayo inside an alien cow, spilling its guts all over the floor. That's just crazy. That's some crazy shit. And it even got in their mouth. Ah! And
That's
despite the
still
fact that he
prototype.
killed, Detective Song. So obviously, all said and done, they save the world. Adebayo does the right thing, exposes Project Butterfly, exposes her mom, having it investigated. Economos happily going back to his work in the
Bellrive.
prison. Bellrive, yeah. Peacemaker, finally getting some quality time with Hardcore, being in a hospital bed. At least she acknowledges him. But then the last scene, showing Peacemaker.
Oh, we skipped
Um,
the Justice League.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
yeah, sorry. Yeah. So killing the cow, all done, getting everyone, carrying hardcore, limping John Economos, and then suddenly you see the Justice League coming in: Superman, Aquaman, the Flash, Wonder Woman. These four came, but only Aquaman and Flash
Had
revealed
speaking
their
lines.
faces. The rest were just
I
had
love
I
it.
speaking
was
lines
blown
and revealed
away.
their faces.
I was
I
blown
was
away about
shocked,
this
bro.
cameo. So
Yeah.
one,
And the fact that
I was
they
blown away that they were there in silhouette, and I was
Mm,
doubly blown away that some of them had speaking lines. And
exactly.
tertiary,
it
the
was
speaking lines were
fu-
directly
We're funny.
because of the stuff that Peacemaker has been kind of like spouting nonsense about. That was fucking great.
You guys
James
are
Gunn,
fucking
man.
late.
and Jason
You
Momoa was
guys are
saying
fucking late.
Aquaman saying fucking.
Fuck, I
I mean,
fucking
I'm
hate
sick of that
that.
fucking
Yeah.
I
fucking
fucking
rumor.
hate that rumor. That's not a rumor.
Which comes back to another funny John Economos line where Peacemaker's always telling shit about the superheroes, and it's all lies except for Aquaman. That shit's real.
Yeah, that's just real. Yeah.
Because technically Mira is a fish, so hey, okay.
Yes, she's a fish person. Yeah.
She fucking fucked the fish. That's great. Oh
Just
my
admit
God, that's so good.
it. Just admit it. So, yeah, that was actually pretty awesome. Then at the end scene, you have Peacemaker from his trailer sitting outside, eagerly going out hunting badger, what seems to be a badger, dropping it in front, and Goth by the side and eating the last bits of that
Last bits of the amber fluid.
amber fluid. I mean, I actually like the friendship with him and Goth. So hopefully, there's more of Goth in the next season.
Yeah.
All right, so that's basically the season ender of the Peacemaker, and dare say, I truly enjoyed this season. I truly enjoyed this show because it was light. You don't have to think much. You'll just laugh your butt off, and it's gory. So, what's wrong with it? I don't know. I loved it, and I'm looking forward to season 2. What do we do? Do we do scores or you guys? What
Let's
do you
do our
guys think?
awards. Let's continue the
Oh, awards.
discussion and then this,
Do
what
the
you like,
awards.
what you thought about the season finale, and then your awards. Let's start with CHUBAX first. What do you think about the show, and then let's do a round of best supporting actor.
I
Yeah.
love it. What else is to say? They nailed it. I guess one of the series that nailed the finale. Really nailed it
Exactly. I was just gonna
compared
say,
to the
yeah.
last series that we've seen. But everybody had their time to shine. Well, maybe except for Judo Master. But then I mean the team
Oh, he's
had.
not he's not the hero.
I know. So he's coming back. I wish he was gonna be part of the team, but I guess not. I love that ending scene with him with the crying while still eating the flaming. Was it flaming Cheetos?
Chips. Yes.
And then
Yeah, still eating.
yes, it's badass. My only nitpick is I wish he starts being a little nicer to Vigilante, but I guess Vigilante
Mm.
is kind of psycho. But what did I
Mm.
love? Yeah, I love that scene I said a while ago. The what the fuck am I from John? The beard stuff, Vigilante's even Vigilante's line where when they come back up Adebayo and Vigilante's just walking like injured. Like, hey man, what's up? like he's really. I think psycho's the word, right? Or
He
sociopath.
is.
There's no emotion. It's
He's,
just like one line, one thorough line, and then the Peacemaker just walking through the Justice League. You're late, dickheads.
You're like,
Like Aquaman saying fuck. Economos doing the jerk off in the hospital. When was being told. Yeah, that's for me. I love it. They nailed it.
who is your let's start with supporting
Supporting.
actor. Who is your best supporting character?
Supporting character. Economos, man. John.
Ooh,
It's John for
all
me.
Very
right.
good. Very good.
Okay, good pick.
Mhm.
I like what Shabak just mentioned. I love this uh series. It's an entertaining series. You know, it's not like a masterpiece, but it's an entertaining series. Everybody should watch this. But I am so
Mhm.
surprised that they actually they nailed the ending. This series in general was paced perfectly. So I think the sickness
Mhm.
that we have that we've experienced in the Disney Plus comic book to TV series adaptation has always been, the last episode is either lacking, so too rushed, or too many things happening in there, so they kind of like fly through a lot of things. This was perfectly placed. Like last
Mhm.
week's episodes was great. This week's episodes was great. They have a revolution. They have everything. Everybody's character growth or character arc had some form of closure, or we know where they're going towards. So I really, really enjoyed everything here. Even the bad guys, the butterflies, had their time to explain what they're trying to do,
Mhm.
and we can all kind of have our own interpretation on what is right or wrong with regards to that. So it's great. So yeah, this is one of those things that after hearing James Gunn do a Peacemaker series, I was like, they're just capitalizing on John Cena's growing audience, right? He's not too big yet, so they can have him do an actual series. But he has like the WWE has had a couple of shows. So I thought that was like, this is not going to be one of those groundbreaking series. It's going to be fun because it's James Gunn. We're going to watch it regardless. But I
Mhm.
am glad that I'm wrong. I'm glad that I think as a character study, Peacemaker had the most interesting growth that is understandable. Like he had a fucked up childhood, he had a fucked up sense of peace, and he just wants to murder people. But towards the end, he's still him. He's still slightly misogynistic, still using the wrong words, still wants to bang hardcore, right? Still wants to bang every single
Whoa.
girl hard rock. But yeah, it kind of like we show all of his all of the things that made him decide to kill the vessel of Goff to save the friendships that he's made in a well
Mhm.
paced and understandable manner. So uh that being said, the reason why I'm picking Vigilante as the
Mm.
best supporting character is because he is the template of what Peacemaker could have been if he stayed mentally disabled, if he didn't
Mhm.
get the friendship that he has. And it's great that they are best friends. I mean,
But they still have that friendship because at the end they also still blew up a car using his giant
His
bomb,
made up bomb.
his made up
fucking,
bomb.
and I love that, I think Vigilante's friendship to Peacemaker is kind of like our friendship to each other. It's like we're all
Mm.
fucking crazy, and it doesn't matter who or what, who or what did we do. It's like, no, he's just my best friend. So it's like it's great. So, Jay, who's your other thoughts, and who's your best supporting character before we move on to the next awards?
I honestly agree with both your points. This was really well done. James Gunn does not need any more recognition, but he does because he did a fucking awesome series. Well done, Mr. James Gunn. And well done for having a hot girlfriend who not only Peacemaker wants to bang, but maybe
Most
80
of
to 90% of all men out there. Well done.
agree.
um, I loved it. I just loved it. And now I'm sad because it's over. But since my wife hasn't seen it, I would love to show it to her. She's probably gonna enjoy it to some point. And it's and she would get it because it's well explained, as what John said. My best supporting actor, Vigilante as well.
Okay.
I was thinking hard between Adebayo and Vigilante, but at the end of the day, Vigilante did not betray Peacemaker. He was psycho from start to end, and he had Peacemaker's best interest at heart. So if you want a supporting person, despite being crazy, Vigilante is the way.
I,
So
I was
fly
debate
through.
I was
Oh.
debating also with Adebayo, but I consider her more of a main character. It's more
Mm.
between
Yeah.
him and Peacemaker, so I went with
Interesting.
That's true.
somebody else.
Hmm.
Then the next up, let's fly through the awards. Best favorite and best character, CHUBAX.
Best character has to be Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
Did such a great job with them.
I was surprised how John Cena handled this character. So it's Peacemaker for me as well. How about you, Jay?
Peacemaker, all the way, man.
All the way.
From his brief dancing scenes, this humor, to his naive yet soulful retorts,
100%.
John Cena pulled it off.
Oh, that's right. Great. Special guest. So I mean, special guest includes
Anybody?
You know,
for me, my winner for most special guests is Judo Master, but with a special mention of Aquaman. Because
I was
of
gonna So when I first made these awards, like a couple of days ago, I was saying like this is essentially just to highlight Judo Master. They barely said a word. He had a couple of lines when they were fighting, but he was eating 90% of the time he was on
Chips.
screen, but kicked ass. And even without being on the screen, how other people described him kind of made him like important. Like he was the one who understood golf
Yeah.
or helped them. Like he beat up the bros, and he's also a tiny Asian dude, so support short kings. So that's kind of like the reason why. But the fucking cameo in the end screwed everything over for me. Jay, who's your most special guest?
Mine, it would be, well, if you're saying special guests, like not on every episode, right? I would say it's Eagly.
Oh,
Eagly.
good call.
I
I
have
thought of
to
him
give
as
it to
well.
Eagly,
I thought of him as
because
well.
Good.
Such a
He was
especially
my
during
runner
that
up for best
episode.
supporting character.
I think it was episode 6 when he was swooping down and just killing one after another.
Oh yes,
Damn!
perfect.
Whoa! Damn!
Perfect segue, because that's my favorite action scene was the Eagly scene when he was like covering the back and then guiding them and then covering the front for the favorite action scene.
Yes.
How about you,
Exactly.
Chubax? Do you have a favorite action scene that you want to highlight in this series?
It's the warehouse scene because it was just so funny.
Okay.
I just love everything about
Oh,
with Cena coming in and just shooting everybody. I thought you were chill.
X-ray.
I am chill.
X-ray
I'm
vision.
chill. And then with the eat peace, motherfucker. I just love
And
that.
Oh, that
what's
was
the name
funny.
of the Charlie? Charlie was
Charlie,
the name of the gorilla, right? Right.
the gorilla.
Jay, favorite action scene?
It was actually seen in episode 8 because it was the first time I saw him with the shield. And there was this particular thing that he threw the shield up and then points his gun and shoots it just so that the shield can decapitate.
That was so unnecessary, but so cool.
Because
It was,
he could just shoot him.
Because you shoot him, or you could just throw the shield.
But that was still so cool.
Much cooler. Much cooler.
He executed
Rounding
it.
up a couple of our awards. Favorite storyline. All right, I'll start here, and I'll do I'll do the cheesy pick
Sure.
because I think the Chris storyline, right, about him and his brother Keith and dying and having a resolution there when he finally kills his dad, that it wasn't his fault that his brother died. I think that was the favorite storyline about me, the storyline of the origin story of Peacemaker. CHUBAX?
For me, it's just how the team started gelling.
Oh,
And yet-
8th Street Kids.
Yeah, so it just
11th Street.
11th Street Kids.
just them coming together and still being asses to each other. It's just I love it. And hardcore being the one that says the least, but still, it made sense that she's the leader. She cares,
That's right.
even though she doesn't want to say
And
it.
she opened the group chat. Jay, what's
That's
your
true.
favorite storyline?
My favorite storyline was where, despite being betrayed by Ate Bayo, at the end, Peacemaker tells her, "Don't tell Vidge, but after Eagly, You're my best friend.
You're my BFF. You're my BFF. BFF. So good. I mean, honorable mention of best storylines too for those who haven't seen the series yet, but also like the butterfly reasons why they're
Yes.
co-opting or trying to save the world kind of by force. The Diebeard is also a great storyline, and the
Yeah, it's a
Mern
good-
storyline as well on why he defected from the butterfly, and then
Yeah.
experiencing everything that Mern did prior to being infected by the butterfly are also great storylines. Let's close this out. What do you think was the most valuable point to this series, CHUBAX?
Most valuable what?
Whatever
Point.
most valuable point on this
Oh,
series. like, what-
Lesson.
Mm.
Point. Oh, lesson? I don't know. Just John Cena is awesome. That's that's the thing I get. I
Mhm.
mean, I never thought that I would compare him to The Rock, but now it's like he has a better
Yeah.
range.
Yeah,
He has more range than The Rock. He can do the
it's getting there.
the emotional
Playing the
stuff
piano.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was.
Oh
amazing.
yeah, the piano scene. Freaking awesome. And
Yeah.
you told me it was
It
self-taught.
was him. Yeah. He's
self-taught.
He's
Yeah,
a self-taught
true.
pianist.
Damn. So good.
My most valuable to the series award, I'm gonna give it to James Gunn because
Oh.
this entire series is his specialty of getting discard characters, putting them in a good story, simple story. This is not a brain-breaking storyline at all. Like this is somebody that anybody can write. Add a little bit of comedy, add a little bit of action, and it becomes a good vehicle for character improvement. Every single character here grew. Harcourt became a leader, warmed her heart, became a leader. Peacemaker understood how stupid he is and how misogynistic he is, but that's his character. Adebayo, blew up what Suicide Squad was. So he essentially saved his friends, but also kind of like developed a conscience about how difficult or how bad
Also
Task
accepting
Force X is.
how badass she is.
Accepting
built for
her lineage. Again, Diebeard admitting his faults, but also understanding his faults. Like, he thought that nobody noticed, but also he's lazy. I mean, if he was just up to his dye-bearding thing, nobody would notice. But you want to be great, but you don't want to put in the work. So it's kind of happening. Judo master, the only person that did not have growth here, and I still love that he didn't have growth here, is fucking Vigilante.
Oh yeah.
From the start to the finish, same thing. Kill everybody, love Peacemaker, and that's it. And I still love him for it. So and I think all of that was a good balance or the good ingredients that James Gunn orchestrated for this particular show. Jay, what is your most valuable to the series award?
Most valuable to the series. Most valuable to the series for me is the fact that this series is not does not need you to really think, that it will give you all the good things that you would want from the series itself, the violence, the characters, the backstories, the way they gel. It's awesome, man. I mean, I just super enjoyed this. It's not a perfect show. It's not gonna be it's not an epic show of it's not a show of epic proportions, but I thoroughly and truly enjoyed this every episode, and I promise all the viewers out there, I've never skipped the intro scene ever.
No skips.
No skips. And whenever I realized I missed some last scenes, I immediately jump in and watch it. So I loved it. It's like your favorite dish that you enjoyed from the first bite to the last.
Okay.
That is, I mean, all great points. And we're now at the point in our discussion where we provide our rating for the last episode of The Peacemaker. I'll start with CHUBAX. What do you grade this show?
Is this the episode or the entire?
The episode.
The episode, I'll go with the consistent 9. I love it. I mean, we all said why, so I'll go straight to the point. It's a 9 for me.
Yeah.
I also give this show a 9. Like this episode and the show overall a 9 because we just all the points that balance of it's entertaining, it's funny, has a lot of action, has sex, but underlying all of that is a very understandable character growth and very simple but deep storyline as well. Jay?
We are aligned. It's a 9 for me. This episode and the show in general, it's a 9.
Oh,
You guys better watch it.
for me, I think it's a 10 overall. For me, it's a
Ooh.
masterpiece.
This is a
Nice.
masterpiece show for
Yeah,
Chubak.
for me, I just
Even better.
because
Ooh.
I already had high expectations
Mhm.
coming in as a James Gunn fan, but everything it did, I mean, you guys said it. It's not epic proportions. Like for me, the way the reason it's a masterpiece is because the content, like you know the main storyline, it's not epic or it's not the most amazing thing, but the way they built it, everything around it,
Mhm.
the characters, the action, the comedy, it's just it was a masterpiece of how they made it. It's like you think if you're like when you're talking about food, you know, you don't always go for the high end stuff, but if something's done and it's well made, you know, like I remember from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's Boyle like for the was it the apple pie. You don't need to be fancy with it. As long the apple pie that he brought was like from this the name I forgot the name of the thing, but it's like 1908 recipe unchanged. That you know if it's simple, but if you did it well, then it's gonna be good. So and this was really done amazingly well. So yeah, that's for me. So happy, and I'm gonna watch it again tonight.
I'm just keeping it at like I'm not gonna give a lot of masterpiece series or movies. So if I give a 9, that's for my personal top. But again, we have all of our rankings, and that's the reason why we have like 3 versions of scores rather than just one in whenever we discuss.
And also, I'm giving this
But-
a 10, a masterpiece because this is the first one that since we started that's nailed the end.
It's-
So that's the X. Maybe it's a 9.5, but we don't do 9.5s.
we don't no more halves. No more
No
halves.
halves. So it's a 9.5, but no halves. So I'm gonna go 9 or 10. But since it nailed the ending, I'll go with it.
10.
I'm very impressed how this nailed the ending too. Like I cannot believe
Yeah.
that fact HBO Max Peacemaker gave us this good of series. So that's good. I think that also plays into the fact that we had low expectations. Right? This is not an MCU title. This is not a Star Wars title. It's like we're in it with an open mind and an open heart, and we were rewarded with a great show and a great time. So
And my scores actually is the microcosm of my explanation a while ago. I never gave I never gave an episode a 10. But everything was so well made that combined everything 10 for me.
It's a 10. Oh. Well thought.
well, that is our Peacemaker season finale review.
So sad.
It's a great week because we have 2 season finales and 2 different formats too. So
No, it's not a great
sad.
week.
It's a sad, yeah.
we
love
thank
the show so
the
much.
content gods. So
I know.
CHUBAX, you have the stage to discuss the last 3 episodes of The Legend of Vox Machina.
Here we go. So sad.
I love it.
Okay. So we got the final batch of episodes for Vox Machina. Let me just get the video started here. The first episode we got is episode 10, titled The Depths of Deceit. So in this episode, they start infiltrating underneath the castle of Whitestone to get to the Briarwoods, and they meet
Briarwoods.
Anna Ripley in prison, voiced by the amazing Kelly Hu, and she lost her hand, or they cut it.
Wait,
Oh,
I thought Lady Briarwood was Kelly Hu.
No. Delilah's somebody else.
I thought Lady Briarwood.
She's the one that looks like a villain from the the casting video. But anyways, she looks like her hair is different color. But anyway, so Kelly, this one's voiced by Kelly Hu. So the Briarwoods betrayed her, or she betrayed them, and then they imprisoned her. So she tries to make a deal with Vox Machina, and Percy just going how do we call it, like smoke monster Percy, smoky Percy, that I'll call her. Smoky Percy just wants to kill her,
Go
but
Smokey.
Cassandra's the one that tells him that we can use her because she helped build whatever they're building. So they free her, they go down, and then the funny thing is Percy's so afraid of Ripley betraying them that when they get down to this like they go through some traps, and Ripley actually saves them, and then they get to a big area with like pipes coming out and like a drain, and then suddenly it's Cassandra that betrays them. I love the scene where Vax so fast so she traps them, but before the door closes, Vax gets
I
out.
love that scene too.
That was great scene.
And
Yeah.
she goes like with Percy, tell your sister to, because I forget the term, like on psycho or something. And then the acid comes. They trap in like acid spilling, and then the Briarwoods come. They charm Vax, so Vex is like immediately worried, and then they leave. So the Vox Machina is trapped in that acid coming up, and I love how Percy here is like just fractured, like broken.
Just like stunned.
Yeah, because of the betrayal from Cassandra, having her and then losing her again, and then Vex being I think she's the natural leader, right? So Vex wakes him up, and then he finds like a way to stop the acid, but the last there's 3 switches, and the last switch is in underneath the acid, and Grog just I love that he takes off his clothes because technically, if he does dive, and it burns up, they don't have any replacement, right? So he has to take off his
It's
clothes.
actually smart on Grog's part.
I
I know
know.
he just wanted to skinny dip, but actually it's functional.
And I love
Yeah.
it. And
Actually.
also the story, like, no matter how strong you are, you're gonna melt. But then they do the thing with Pike, where she's constantly healing him while he's diving. It's so cool.
Mm.
So they're able to escape, and then I think that's the end of the episode when they're trying to get into the ziggurat place.
Ziggurat.
Ziggurat.
So then we go to the episode 11, the penultimate episode, the main fight, Whispers at the Ziggurat. So this is basically just a big fight, which I love. It's so amazing. They come in, so it becomes Vax versus Vex. And then at the start, it's Grog versus Pike versus Silas, Percy versus Cassandra, Keyleth knocked out, and Scanlan versus Delilah.
Muffled.
Somewhat, yeah,
Muffled.
silenced.
Silenced.
Silenced. So good fight. Pike holding her own against Silas, but then she sees Scanlan about getting decimated, so she saves him, and then Grog goes 1-on-1 again with Keyleth. Oh no, with Grog goes to fight Silas. Oh no, wait. Before Pike goes to help Scanlan against Delilah, Silas goes to Cassandra to help against Percy, and then Grog comes back, so he fights Silas, and Vex and Vax have a nice 1-on-1, and then Keyleth finally wakes up and then remembers that the sun tree is there, so she's able to like get energy from it and use the Kamehameha against Silas.
I know, right?
And that's so cool, like that part. And then Grog say, I don't want to hit you, Grog, and then Grog just saying, I can take it.
I could take it.
And then Delilah trying to help him, and then suddenly
But he was also
yeah.
burnt. You can see
Yeah,
Grog
and then-
was also like burnt.
He had to be healed.
Salvaged.
I love that scene too.
yeah, and then Scanlan doing the shh to Delilah back, so amazing. So then Cassandra waking up from the charm spell that Silas did saves Percy. Then Percy, I just love Talos and Jeff ears, like the angry dad. Silas, Delilah. Every time he screams, it's just so awesome. That was my kill. So they kill the light Kamehameha kills Silas, and then they fight Delilah. He escapes into the ziggurat, and then she does something with inside, calls the Whispered One, and then that's where we end. And then we go to the last episode, The Darkness Within, where they're able to get inside the get inside the ziggurat, but they couldn't hurt Delilah too much, and Delilah finishes the spell. But for some reason, maybe it's too early from that time, the Whispered One
Yes.
shows up, but then
there's
disappears, and then they're left
the
with that.
constellation on the book.
Little book.
It wasn't
Adds
time,
a little
right?
ball.
But they're left with a spinning
Skinny ball.
orb, and that spinning orb is anti-magic, so that's why Pike disappears, and the healing elixir didn't work. So if they left before they gave the elixir, Keyleth would have been healed immediately.
That was a cool like effect though. It's like, oh, I need to do this real quick. I need to heal her before. Boop. It was like,
Like, oh my shit. So, oh, I forgot. During when they were trying to subdue Delilah, Keyleth sacrifices herself for Vex, and she gets hit. So she's dying, and then they capture Delilah. She gets shot by Percy, and then they don't know anything what's going on with the magic ball anyway. So they leave back to the acid place where there's no more. They drain the acid away. So they get there, and Vax, through a nice intelligence check, remembers what Keyleth did to heal Cassandra. So he uses the same thing to heal her. While they're healing her, Percy just goes crazy. And everybody realizes that Percy made a deal I guess subconsciously, with the demon called a smoky demon called Orthax. So he's the one that's trying to gives him power through, what's his term, like consuming souls. So
Consuming souls.
Yeah, so they fight. Orthax makes Percy see visions of his family and the Briarwoods killing them. So Percy thinks he's fighting the Briarwoods, but it's his team that he's fighting. But of course, in the end, they get to Percy, especially Cassandra, from Vex's pushing Cassandra to, he's your brother, do something, bitch. So they get to him, and he snaps out of it, and then in the end, Cassandra kills Delilah through a stab through the throat. And how did they beat Orthax?
You found a way to forgive her, but I can't.
Yeah, and Percy kicks Orthax away, and then Scanlan throws the gun to the remaining acid, and there was some sort of residue of Orthax still there. So that was thing. Percy in the end was angry first, but in the end was happy. So they still don't know what's happening in the ball at the end, but they're like, Keeper Yenin and some of the healers are trying to figure it out. That was fucked up though. The scene where one of the monks tried to touch it and it just gets ripped apart into nothing.
Yeah.
Got sucked in.
And then they go home to Iman, to Uriel, and as they're celebrating in the castle, we get the shot. The dragon coming from the sun, and you think it's just one dragon, and then it splits into four.
3 or 4?
Four.
Four.
Son of a bitch. It's the
There were
chrome.
4 dragons.
They're called the chrome. Well, in the campaign, they're called the Chroma Conclave. So yeah, that's where season 2 is gonna hit, and it's gonna be amazing and fun.
Yeah.
Is that an arc on itself, the dragon arc thingy?
Yeah. It's a big part of the campaign. So yeah, that's the season finale of Vox Machina. I don't know how long are they gonna make us wait for season 2, and I hope they get renewed for more.
See,
Yeah, I definitely hope
my worry about animated shows is, even if they want to make them quicker and sooner. Kind of can't. You're kind of like stuck with a year maybe or 10 months for maybe 10 episodes, or because it's either you can't rush animation. You can only do so many things. So but
So
uh such a good show.
let's start with you. What did you think of the 3 episodes? Final 3 episodes.
I am continuously amazed how they have every episode to be action packed with good story and good character engagement, despite having multiple characters on screen
So
all the
many.
time.
I know.
Yeah.
That's where I am like, that's a testament to how the Critical Role people built their characters, that they're so formed and their chemistry is so strong that you know where to direct certain pairings, certain combinations, certain highlights of the episodes. I was never a fan of kind of like, this is a Percy centric season.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big fan. Like, I don't like the revenge plot kind of thing, but this was kind of pulled, that my dislike for that storyline was pulled down, and then the how each one supports each other by not supporting directly Percy, but like Vex is supporting Vax. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Vax is supporting Keelit. Grog is supporting Pike.
Pike.
So the idea is that it's not a straight line to Percy and the thing. It's a line to the group, which is for me
I know.
super unique, and I love it. And then Scanlan doing his own thing, which is also fucking perfect. So I love these last 3 episodes. Kind of concerned to start that they introduced somebody so late, like Anna Ripley. Like, last 3 episodes, like, oh shit, we have like an important character towards the end of the series, and then they had a little bit more of exposition or origin story, that she was kind of their torturer, and she was also engineer, and she was also smart. So it's like, shit, you're introducing so many things, and I know that this is going to be an important character moving down the line, but I think it helped because it provided us more insight on how Percy does his thing. All right, so he built the guns. They both built weapons or things. They're both engineers, so they kind of know each other. So they're both smart. So I kind of looked at it as, it's not a one-off. Like any traditional animation will look at it like it's a one-off to introduce a new character, so you can have a couple of episodes around that character. But this one is different. Like, they introduced Anna Ripley to further unearth more of Percy's backstory, and then that backstory kind of helped in him creating the gun. His quest for vengeance was the reason why he got co-opted by the demon. So it's kind of like, all right, it makes sense. It's not just the traditional 3 episodes of this, 4 episodes of that. So I kind of enjoy that. So
And
yeah,
it's
I love.
also seeds for the future, because she's gonna be a villain in the
Yes.
future.
And yeah, so I was it was a good balance of all. Like, you put a little bit of seed, you put a little bit of backstory, you put a little action. She has function. Like, she wasn't just there, so she was a guide. She explained what the ziggurat was, and that she discovered it, that it was the one that access to power. So I was like, right, it makes sense, even if you're only there for like 1.5, 2 episodes, right? So that's kind of a testament to smart writing. And in the end, 12 episodes, definitely not enough, but I'd rather this than stretch more and have filler episodes. I love
Agreed.
love
The
no
Titans.
filler episodes. Every single second of this animated series has purpose. So it's either has a story, has comedy, or has action in it. So that's why I think this is moving way, 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 way to the top of all of the animated series that I've ever seen. It's like, if this maintains the same way that it is in season 2 and maybe more, this might topple Avatar for me. Because right now, Avatar is a special place in my heart. So many episodes, so good, animation is killer and everything like that. But the thing that Avatar has going against it is, has a lot of fillers.
That's my issue with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one is like, I fucking love it. So yeah, that's my thoughts about this particular episode. And I'm trying my hardest not to Google what's up with the dragons. Like I'm trying my hardest, but I want to know what's up with the dragons. Are they gonna fight the dragons? Are they going to talk with the dragons? Are they going to negotiate with them? Fuck. So I hate cliffhangers, but I'll make an exception for Vox Machina.
RJ?
Jay, how about you?
Well done. I loved it. Beyond words, this has made my Fridays fantastic. Um, for Vox Machina, it makes me want to play our Sunday games even more passionately.
Oh,
This seriously, I'm not a voice actor, nothing close to being one, but I would love to bring our characters to life, in the way that they did. They just pulled this off really well. I agree with your point, wherein with so many characters, they still were able to develop each one amazingly well. The relationships that they had, and towards the end, despite how wild their origins may have come from, they really pulled through. And there's that super support that you'll receive, or you'll see that they all give to one another. So I'm excited for the coming seasons. I'm excited for what's next. I'm happy that Percy didn't die. And I look forward to what's his next gun gonna look like. Because remember, he confiscated a gun from Anna Ripley from her bag. It was a broken gun. So he probably might fix it and might be called something else. I don't know. I'm excited. I still haven't watched the podcasts because honestly I love it, but it's just too long, and I can't.
I'm almost updated with campaign 3, and I'm like episode 60 on campaign 1. So I'm doing them parallel.
Wow, I'd love to, man, but
I know
it's
a lot of work.
I know, but this series, they were able to tell a fantastic story despite the limited number of um, of episodes, and I like the fact that they released 3 episodes per week. But if you really think about it, guys, each episode is about 20-25 minutes. So 3 of them, that's generally just like an hour episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically just watched 3 1-hour episodes.
4.
Not bad.
4.
4. Sorry. 4 1-hour episodes.
Yeah. But I mean, I figured like the idea is like this is going to be great for the next generation. Like it's good for us, but for other countries where they'll be getting this week on week, for other watchers, this is congrats, you got fucking cool content for your generation.
That's
now.
right.
Like there was a big gap between like what Avatar and maybe like I know people like some of my cousins, my younger cousins, they have like Ben 10 and Arthur and all of those Rugrats as kind of like their touchstones to animation. Like, bro, now you have fucking Vox Machina. That's fucking cool.
So for me, just some of the stuff that I noted down that was that I love, like the soundtrack was amazing. So Grog's amazing.
You got Scamland.
And then I love Ashley Johnson. Whenever she has like real fucking like the acid, real fucking original. That is so funny. And then I love I've never seen this show where it's the Western style combined with anime stuff that you don't see in Western stuff. It's just so cool. Like you see the Silas punch to kill it, and then there's like that blowback effect. You don't see that in Western. That's usually Naruto one.
Yeah, that's Titmouse. Okay, good job, Titmouse.
And then the Smoky Percy, where he was like teleporting fast.
Teleporting.
It's so cool. Like it was so amazing. It's like really anime, and you can see it's like
they learned.
It's not like copying anime. It's more like they're fans and influence, and it's so well done. Like they even improved like a lot of the shots where the smoke was just going to his face, and then it would be like a demon face for just a very split second, and then it's gonna go fast again. And then like you, Jong, I'm also not a fan of the revenge story,
Mhm.
but you said it well where they made it that was the main plot, but it wasn't standing on its own. Like everything else
Exactly. Mhm.
wasn't like just flowing through that. It was like more like everybody was like everywhere. Like everybody was important. It just so happened that they're going through this one, this one
Mhm.
point. So it wasn't like it was everything. And I like all the character dynamics. And I love how Vex went from cock blocker to matchmaker. like like
Yes.
like at the start she was so pissed that Vax was in love with Keelet, and
Liking
then
Keyleth.
now
Yeah.
that he's heartbroken,
Well, you
she's
better like Keyleth now. He fucking took a thing in the
Save.
gut for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that combined with seeing Vax heartbroken, she feels for him, so he just wants her brother to be happy, even though she's possessive in a sense. But that was just amazing. And then the ending, of course. I mean, even me, who knows what's gonna happen with the Chroma Conclave, that scene was so well done. Just and the thought of just the dragon coming through the backdrop by the sun, and it was just one.
Well,
And then
and then I thought it was
suddenly,
one,
yeah, see, and then it splits
and then
up.
it kind of like,
That was
oh,
so well done. Like, because if you see one, it's like scary in a sense, but you also know that they beat one already.
maybe.
Yeah, and then it splits to four.
What about 4?
Fucking shit. So yeah, that's let's head to the awards since
That's
we've
his
just
rewards.
been
All right.
saying
This
our
is
love
gonna
for
be.
Vox Machina.
I'm interested in everybody's kind of take. And again, these are just general labels of the awards. You can have your liberties around there. But let's start with the best supporting character.
I had such a hard time with this. I just like picking, like I was more like throwing whoever
Mhm.
stuck in my mind first, but it's so
Yeah.
hard.
I have my thoughts.
Best supporting meaning not part of the campaign group.
No, again, this is up to
Any,
your
yeah, up to
description.
your-
Okay.
Let me start. So you guys have a little bit of framework. You have a few minutes to change your awards. My best supporting actor, all right, is also my best character. Same character wins the award, baby.
Oh, is it?
Fucking Scanlan.
I knew it.
Scanlan supports everybody the best and is
Mhm.
also the best character in his own right. So that's my favorite character because fuck it. He's also the most valuable in the series on me. Scanlan wins everything. Best action, Scanlan also. Best action scene, maybe not best storyline, but everything else. I love Scanlan so much. I never in my wildest dreams that I will even like a gnome or a dwarf or
gnome.
any short character. Because like, why would I fucking like something that is already me? Like, I don't like short shit, right? But the way that character's written, his power set, his usefulness, you see
Mhm.
different angles of what the support character could be and has been done. How can a fucking support character be a support character but also do his Rambo shit by himself? Like, I do not understand that, and I do not understand why it
Scanbo.
worked. I fuck. So
Scanbo.
that's my best supporting character. So let's go with you, Jay. Who's your best supporting character?
Supporting character. Keyleth.
Good call. That's my runner-up.
In terms of support, she's scared shitless. She has no confidence. But she was still able to really support the team. So especially when the cleric was gone, you're the light for the team. So actually, she's going to be. She's basically, they're all main characters, right?
Exactly.
But I feel in terms of support provided, I think she did a lot despite her lack of confidence. But when she got her confidence level up, dude, she's actually quite OP. So for me, she's my support.
It's amazing because they did it so well. Like everybody's power sets all equal, except Keyleth is
Yes.
OP, but her confidence is like opposite
Very
of
low.
OP. So it's like
Same
canceling out.
with Pike.
Same like Grog.
Yeah.
He's so
And same
strong,
with
but he's
Grog,
so
right? So
He's
not
everybody's
smart.
For me, it's Scanlan. My supporting character is Scanlan. Just so
Mm.
amazing, and he had that special Scanbo episode. So this is
Yeah,
so
pretty
cool.
good.
Next
uh,
up,
best character. Who's your best favorite character? Hey, you know, I'm Scanline just because again, my mind was changed about support characters because of this, and it's just my lack of knowledge on how RPGs work. I've always been either the assassin or the hunter, you know, the rogue. You know, those have always been where I um identified the most in all of the games that I played growing up. Never like the healer, never like
Yeah.
the mage. But this one was like Bard, fucking Bard,
actually, for the next
right?
for our next campaign, I'm thinking of a halfling because halflings can reroll once, natural ones,
Yes,
any
So
natural
you
ones.
never
it's their natural.
I mean, you can get it again,
There's
but
still-
you have to get 2 natural ones in a row to get a natural one. But
Hmm.
so for me, it's not best character because they're all main character. I don't know.
exactly.
I just love Vax.
Favorite.
He's my
Vax.
favorite. Yeah, he's just so charming and just so cool. I love the daga daga. He when in the campaign he usually goes like, when it's his turn, it's like, okay, I'll go here and then daga 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 because he always has 3. So he's just cool, and then I love the relationship with Vex and Keelan
Vex.
and his kind of rivalry with Grog and Percy, like in different ways. Like with Grog it's about manliness, and then with Percy it's like step out of it or something, like where you're being like an asshole. So yeah, that's my favorite character.
Jay.
Percy.
Oh,
I know
Oh.
that I know that he cries like a little bitch, but I like the story. I sense the loss. I sense the
Mhm.
struggle because he was
Taliesin-
completely.
And Taliesin Jaffe brought it, like the voice actor, like it's
Yeah.
so good.
I love it. Was he also the Smoky Percy?
Yeah.
Did he also
Orthax.
voice?
Orthax probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Just so good.
So I like how his character is cool and composed, but when it's anything related to the Briarwoods, his family, his past, he just snaps.
Ooh.
And there's that secondary personality that comes out, and I love it when he has his mask on or his
Good
yellow eyes
call.
are bright.
He's the coolest looking for sure. Even the gun, but Orthax is
Yeah.
played by Matthew Mercer.
Oh, so it's not him.
Oh, well, that's Orthax, but when he's the Smoky Percy, I still feel it's still Percy.
So they
they
overlap
overlap.
both of their voices together.
Oh,
So that's even cooler now.
That's
Even cooler.
cooler. No, but despite him being, I just like his history wherein he's so weak. He was tortured, and yet he so loved the sister. He so loves his family, and it's just despair having your entire family, everything you held, or everyone, or everything you held dear, taken away from you. That's more than enough for you to actually ask for for revenge. In a way, I was looking at it. His gunslinger is somewhat based off similarly to a warlock, where you still have a patron that provides you.
Yeah, and I actually like that they did it subconsciously in his case. It's not like
Yeah.
He didn't make
made
a deal.
Yeah, he did, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not conscious.
It's not like yes. And even the demon said that it was an unspoken deal. It's like,
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
yeah, it's not like that, diba?
So,
But yeah. So
next.
my favorite was actually Percy.
Next is our
Special
special,
guest.
guest.
How about you, CHUBAX?
For me, it's Silas and Delilah. They were just cool.
Okay.
I love them. I love their distinct fighting styles. I love that. It's how do you describe them? It's like they embraced being evil, but they're not inherently evil. You know what I mean? It's like
They just
Yes.
loved each other. They just
love
loved
each
each other.
other,
That's
but-
another thing. Okay?
I love their story actually.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do favorite storylines, their story is actually mine.
and the fight.
Yeah,
Their fighting style is also good with Silas being the tank, sword, fast, fighter, and then Delilah with the great sound effect
Spell.
Necromancer.
scream. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my special guest.
I'll go next. This is going to be super shallow, but Archie was my favorite guest just because I love that voice.
Dominic Monaghan.
Oh,
Dominic Moynihan's voice. I didn't realize that it was like, but also it's mostly natural. He didn't
Yeah.
enhance it much. He didn't act much. That's just how he speaks. And
Yeah.
that is a little bit rasp, but so I really enjoyed that. And of course, like it pushed the story forward in terms of like him leading the rebellion and him dying and that kind of spurred them to continue the revolution themselves. So that's my favorite and most special guest. Jay?
Actually, it's well, I agree with CHUBAX also with the Briarwoods. I love their story, wherein they became the way they were due to the promise of the Whispered One.
Mhm.
Only because she loves her husband so much. She doesn't want him to die. I agree. But if I were to say special guests, because they were like the top villains, right?
Mhm.
Even for me, they were more awesome than the Thunder Dragon. If you're talking about special guests, I like the shopkeeper.
Fucking he was my second, but I need more of him. I need more of him.
I know. I need more of him. I do agree with you. I need more of him. He's actually powerful. He has spells. And he has all the
He has a
equipment.
self-popping collar that finally came out
I
in the last
know!
episode. I want that.
Exactly. I think that's part of her cloak. I think that's her cloak.
And in the
Both.
campaigns, the people have like Hall of Fame for Matt Mercer's NPC. Gilmore's one.
Mhm.
There's quite a lot,
See?
but Gilmore's one.
Gilmore's goods. Oh my god, the best.
Gilmore. He's awesome. And just very flirtatious with Vax.
So next is action
Favorite
sequence.
action sequence.
I'll go?
CHUBAX.
Oh yeah, I have. I can't stop. I have four for different reasons.
Oh, go
Okay.
ahead. We have no rules in this fucking podcast.
First one is the dragon fight because it's the one where
Mhm.
this is where you're excited for something, you're hyped for something, and you don't know if it's gonna be as awesome as you want. Then this is when it all comes together so nicely. This is the moment that like, fuck, this is it. We got it. It's awesome as we thought, and we love it. The dragon fight. Second is the first Briarwood fight because they lost, but
Yes.
I don't know. There was just something very suspenseful with that fight where
And this is the first time we get to see them kind of like bust out all their superpowers ish.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
remember that too. Like it's like that was a good way to show your power set, your unique abilities, your special moves, and still be hit in the heart because you lost.
there was something there that was special. That one was like the one that said, "This is there's something different about this show than normal." And then my third special is Scanbo. Yeah, I mean, what else is Scanbo? You don't need to add more explanations to that. And then the last one is the last main fight, the ziggurat fight, because
Mm.
everything there was just everything there.
My favorite action sequence, like you, I'm cheating. I have two. Scanbo again, because everything Scanlan in this series is an award winner for me. But if that gets disqualified, my second portion is the flashback when they were talking around the campfire and telling all about their weirdest kills. That was my favorite because I know
forgot about that.
that has a lot of, that's probably 3 or 4 episodes of Critical Role that I can go back to and read up. So, and also really cool kills about like, Grog opening the mouth, biting the tongue, ripping it out. Keyless just sidestepping and and the enemy goes to melt in the lava. And of course, my favorite, Scanlan fucking something and then having a second head. Still finishing. That's the role. Still finishing. So those are my two favorite action
Very
sequences.
disturbing, but yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite action sequence or sequences?
Sequences. Dragon being split, dragon's head being split in half. The final battle, yes. But I also want to give a special mention to their caravan battle
Oh, chase
when
team.
they were being chased by the
Oh, yeah.
wargs.
The wargs.
That was
yeah,
actually
chase
pretty exciting, which now makes me realize we did the same thing
team.
Oh, that
on
is
our
true.
show, right?
uh,
So that's pretty awesome.
yeah, we discussed the next award a little bit more, but just to formalize favorite storylines. And I can go start, Chubax can
Go,
like
go,
dwindle
go.
down his list. And you guys are right. Favorite storyline for me is the Briarwoods. But I also
Yes.
cheated my tied with it. I am most fascinated story-wise by Grog and Pike. I
Nice.
love that type of friendship. And then having heard a little bit of what Chubax has mentioned the past few episodes, that Grog was taken in by Pike and Pike's grandma or something like that. Grandpa. So that kind of like excites me. Like I love these types of friendship that is just like unrequited love where no one judges each other, but also both of their power sets gets to be enhanced because of the other. Grog can be more careless and fuck shit up and injure himself. He's willing to get injured because Pike got
Got his back.
got
His
his
back.
back. So like I love those two characters. I'm looking forward to like listening more about their backstories in their recordings, but also seeing it more in the next few seasons. Chubax?
For me, it's all about the different character dynamics. The Vax Vex, Vax Keyleth, Percy Vex, Percy Keyleth, Grog and Pike, Grog Vax. So it's all their character dynamics and how different
Grog
they are.
Vax, I like that.
Right? Must not kill
What's that?
Vax.
What's their game?
Ball
What's their
tag.
game? The ball
Ball
tag.
tag, ball
Ball
tag.
tag. The rules of ball tag
Shit,
are
that could have been a
both
favorite
intricate.
action sequence. Good call. But ball tag.
The rules of ball tag are both intricate and complex. RJ.
Oh, you know what? Sorry.
Uh,
We should have I should have also added in the action sequence those specter ghosts that needed light. That's
oh
actually
yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah,
That's
cool.
a
Yeah.
Matthew
Too
Mercer has a
many,
thing,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I mean, all their fight scenes were pretty well thought of. So I love the story. What are we doing now? We're selecting
Best storyline.
storylines, right?
Storyline, Jay.
Yeah. Sorry, it's still gonna be with the Briarwoods. I like how sad their lives were, which led them to be that evil, and encompassing the Briarwood, also the family of the Derolos, that led to what Percy
I
became.
mean, the fact that how well it's written and how relatable it is. Anyone of us in that position would do the same thing as a
100%,
Briarwood,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
right? If
No
you can
questions
save
asked.
that,
Yes.
or a husband, the wife.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, 100%.
Last one.
Or at now
Oh.
even my cat, I do the same. So yeah.
MVP.
Last closes out most valuable to the series award. Let's start
Okay.
with RJ first, and then we'll end with our biggest fan, Trubax, with this.
Now you probably are thinking that I've been avoiding a character throughout this entire thing. MVP, Scanlan.
I think
Prove
this
me
is
wrong.
I think this is gonna be an anonymous, unanimous, anonymous. But
Unanimous
so you're going with
decision.
Scanlan.
I'm going with
I'm-
Scanlan.
I'm going with Scanlan.
So for me, when I wrote this down, I thought it was like MVP story wise, not like to the series. So for me, the MVP.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
The MVP for the story is Keyleth because she's the one that's been saving their asses.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
they're always like backed up in the corner, and it's Keyleth the one that comes through in the end. So just in that sense.
Awesome. All right. We ran through all of our awards. We are at the very sad portion of this particular episode where we have to put our final rating for the last batch of episodes of this story, The Legend of Vox Machina Season 1. It is going to be weird that next week we won't have a batch of episodes to discuss about one of our favorite series, animated, one of our favorite topics to talk about, critical roles, tabletop game that's from a living room now to a show and a giant franchise. But we do have new episodes of Yellowjacket and a movie of the week to discuss next week. So to round this out, RJ, I'm gonna start with you. What is your plus 63 HP rating of the last batch of Vox Machina?
Epic 10.
Ooh.
Epic 10. I'm sorry. It's just so good. It's just so good.
I just mentioned a while ago that I will not be giving a lot of tens in the movies and
I know.
in the series because I mean, if you give it,
It doesn't do justice if I give them a 9. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not fair.
But both as the last batch of episodes and as a series as a whole, I too am giving The Legend of Vox Machina my first 10. My first 10. It's again. The only reason why I'm hesitant to make this my favorite animated series of all time currently is because it hurts right now that we only have 12 episodes. I'm very happy that in the next couple of years, once we get to the 20 episodes, the 30 episodes, the 40 episodes, if we get to 100 episodes, I'm going to be so looking forward to the day that I can marathon this with my kids again and make this kind of like a yearly tradition during holiday break. It's like, oh, which season of Vox Machina are we going to watch now? So that's, I think it has the potential to be that. So I'm giving it a 10. CHUBAX, I know you hate this show. Why do you hate the show? Tell Matthew Mercer why you hate this fucking show.
I was gonna go with well, technically, I haven't given anything a 10 yet because if you look at Peacemaker, it's also a 9. So let's round it out with a 10. So it's a triple 10.
It's a triple 10.
What else can I say? When you watch it, it just goes by so fast that like I
Too
want
fast,
more.
too fast.
I want more.
Too
And
fast. Yeah.
Matthew Mercer, it sucks that it's only 12 episodes. Give us more.
I think
Now.
the biggest surprise, aside from the soundtrack, the chemistry, the action, is the pacing. It was they did it really well. So just gotta
I
give
love the fact no fillers, no skips.
Yep.
Every second counted. There's not even like a beat that I felt like this is a useless
unneeded.
beat.
Yeah.
Like even speaking to fucking Gilmore is important and funny and entertaining and useful for the story. It's like, this is how you make. So this is what I would want anime to be. No skips. Like,
no fillers.
No fillers. You don't need 18 episodes. You don't need 24 episodes. If the story calls for 12, do 12.
I hope
and it hurts. And
I
it's
hope
painful.
next season we meet Victor, other NPC.
Oh, see, that's the other thing too. There's so many new characters. There's so many characters that I know that's still gonna come out because this is just the first campaign, the first arc of the first campaign.
This was like 35 to 40 episodes of campaign 1. And
So,
there's 140 plus.
Damn.
So maybe like 3 or 4 arcs are we looking at for Vox Machina?
I'm just happy we got this one already. So, if they can get the next, we know the next
if
one
we
already,
can make
so.
it, every season is an arc. I'd like that. It'll be really good. So and the next one seems like it's dragons. So who the fuck doesn't like dragons? If you don't like dragons, you're there's something wrong with you. All right. Final thoughts before we close out this episode and any of the shows that we've discussed. Yellowjackets, Legend Walks.
I am very distraught that there will be no more Peacemaker and no more Vox Machina for next week's episode. that's something. After this week, I was so excited and so horrified for this week since I am gonna watch the last episodes and I'm horrified that it's the last episodes. But yeah.
Same. I've been dreading it, but it's done. So we gotta move on some way. End of an era for our show for this one, and we're starting with a new one anyways. So yeah, bittersweet.
Yeah, that's 343. It sucks. Like I love the shows that we're watching, and it's exponentially more enjoyable because I get to discuss it with my best friends. But it's sad. 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 like,
Amen.
both on an intellectual level, but also in just like a, just sticking around level. So I love preparing for the show. I love watching the show. It's great. But I'm also very hopeful because this is only going to be a short lull. It's only going to be a couple of weeks where we don't have like a week-on-week show that we're gonna have to be stuck with for a couple of months. At the end of March, we have fucking Moon Knight.
Obi-Wan.
we have,
Oh yeah,
we have
When's
so many
Obi-Wan?
other.
March is a lot.
Obi-Wan is in,
May?
I think, May. Yeah. uh Spider-Man is coming out on demand, so we can get the discussion too. It's
I
like,
think
Yeah.
it's in a week and a half. So
yeah, there you go. So
I think March 1.
this is a short lull, and we do have like our interim show Yellowjackets with us as well, so it's kind of like cool to have. So and we have our Kingsman for next week. So I'm also excited to find other gems to replace the hole that Vox
Mhm.
Machina will be, and Book of Boba Fett and Peacemaker to fill
Peacemaker.
out. So I'm excited to do that, and also maybe shift to like one-off movies where we don't have to like, it's just like a one and done discussion. So I'm excited about that, to distract myself in possibly waiting another 10 months to a year for
Fox.
another season of Legend of Vox Machina. So with that, final goodbyes, CHUBAX.
Yeah, thanks for staying with us. I hope you liked what you saw. Don't forget to like, comment, and share us to your friends. Thank you.
RJ.
Thank you again to all our 1,000 subscribers
Woo!
and listeners out there. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. Yes, you heard it right, 1,000, and that just means that what we do, this hanging out of best friends, is also entertaining to you guys. So we're super excited. Please leave us a comment. Write what you think. Let us know if you want to join. We're happy to have guests over. All right. That's it.
Piggybacking of what
Yeah, Jong, you're on mute.
Jong, your audio is gone.
sorry. I keep on doing the Elgato wave thing, is like has this mute, but a touch sensitive button on the top. But piggybacking to what RJ has mentioned, we thank you very much, every single one of you that have subscribed, liked, or commented in any of our videos. We truly, truly appreciate it. Like, we're doing this for ourselves, but if we can get to give you a little bit more of information on how to spend your time with your friends and your family,
And some
that
fun.
just makes it a little bit more special for us, and hopefully we can pass it along to others as well. So if you have not yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/plus63hp. We are also on any of the major social media networks, Twitter, Spotify. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just follow or search +63hp. That is our handle. Listen to us if you want to put us in the background. You want to join the discussion week on week, but you're doing other stuff. Plug in a couple of headphones, listen to us on any of your favorite podcasting applications. We particularly like Apple, Spotify, and Amazon. And next week, we're continuing with 4 more episodes of Yellowjackets. You can watch that on Hulu and on HBO Max and other territories. You can also buy the episodes
Showtime,
on
right?
Prime Video. Yep.
Showtime.
It is a Showtime series. So we're discussing next 4 episodes, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We have a movie of the week next week. Very happy that this came out fairly quickly on demand, because I was kind of upset that it was only in theaters in December, but just like a month and a half later, it's already on Hulu, at least here in the United States. So hopefully it's a little bit easier for you guys to watch it as well at the comfort of your own home, if you are worried about COVID still. So our movie of the week next week will be Kingsman. So a very tight episode
Kingsman.
next week to recover from our 2-season finale episode this week. With that, thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Ciao.